What up, everyone? Welcome back to Blade Bias. Spring has sprung, my friends, and it has been a beautiful week. Too bad I have been stuck inside with one of the busiest weeks since finals week of last semester. So that's fun, but I decided to take a little bit of a break right now because I have this pretty cool package from FlipForge that I've been waiting for a while. I don't think it's any secret that I am a big supporter of FlipForge's products, the Edit and the Edit Lite. Although, I don't think I also have made it any secret that I prefer the Edit Lite vastly over... vastly over the actual Edit. The balance, the distribution is all just on point. Whereas with the actual Edit, I just found myself just a bit not put off. It's still an amazing balance, but compared to the Edit Lite, there's just something a little odd about it. And that should hopefully be fixed by this package right here. So, FlipForge has been wanting to send me a new blade for my Edit for a while now because I was not a fan of the original Tonto blade. He changed that. He pushed the weights further forward in the tip to hopefully balance out some of that extreme handle bias on the Tonto blade and bring it more in line with what he wanted, which was a more handle biased experience for sure, but not unflippably so. But also the Crescent blade he's made a few adjustments to, which I believe the primary one being that he gave it more tip weight. There is also a customization option. He added something that you'll see in a minute, but I don't think that's available right now as he works to improve that. But let's get this thing open because one of them is the Tonto blade, and we'll see if that's any better than the Tonto blade used to be for the actual Edit. But one of them is also a really, really cool custom blade that you may have only seen one other place, and not even that. So I've been waiting to see this thing for a long time. I told him not to send any pictures to me because I wanted to see it for myself. Here we go. Oh, I get more stickers. Oh, FlipForge, you're the best. I'm going to put one of these on the back of my phone sometime. Never mind. It's a bigger sticker than I thought. And plus, Lantern. Can't replace Lantern. Thanks for the extra stickers, FlipForge. Look at this. So if you've seen Brandon Baker's Edit, you would know that he has a wonderful dual tone blade on his, which looks super sick. And FlipForge was interested in seeing if I wanted something similar. And since I love the mint variation so much, I decided, well, it kind of would be stupid to not go for like a mint version of Brandon's Edit. But then he said he could add the carbon fiber if I wanted, and while I originally wanted to go with a mint and gray color scheme to fill in the mint around here and then have the gray in the middle, I decided to go with black to give me that wonderful carbon fiber look on one side. And ooh, it's a cool texture on the other side. And this thing looks amazing. So, I don't think the Tonto blade... Yeah, the Tonto blade is just a normal gray one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to go put this on first. We're going to talk about both the new blades. We'll talk about the Tonto Edit, my first impressions of it really quick. And then I'll put on the really cool blade and we'll talk about that. So I will see you guys in just 1 second. All right. I have attached the new Tonto blade. I just got to give it a little quick little tune. I'll be completely honest in saying that I'm not giving this the fairest shake because it didn't clean out anything. And I'm not going to put too much time into tuning this because let's be real, this blade right here is going on immediately after this. So when I put this on, I'll take the time to clean it and everything. This is just to see what he's done to the Tonto blade. Supposedly been a bit more, the weight has been pushed more towards the tip, which should help the extreme handle bias I was feeling the last time that I tried the Tonto blade for the Edit, which hopefully should be a pretty good thing. I think according to FlipForge, it is supposed to be more handle biased than supposed to be a more handle biased experience than the Crescent blade. So I'm definitely tempering my expectations a little bit because I prefer more neutral on plastic balisongs. I am also going to find, we got so many boxes and stuff down here. I am also going to find the hardware to change. Yeah, so here we go. So you're probably going to want to change the balance on this when you put in the Tonto blade, but let's just give it a flip. This is with full weights in. Oh, that's so much better. And actually, it's fairly neutral. Like, there is still a handle bias there, but it fans. Like, you can tell in the way it fans. It's got kind of a V curve when it fans. It is handle biased. So if you're more of a fan of handle bias, I mean, we'll figure that out completely because I'll try the new Crescent blade too. But if you're more of a fan of handle bias, I would definitely pick up the Tonto blade personally. But it's not nearly as handle biased as it used to be. It feels way, way better. I guess I have the original blade here. I am interested. I guess part of it was this texturing has sort of been changed. I do prefer the way that the old texturing looks in terms of having like this inside area. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. And it flips pretty good too. This is way, way more flippable than the old Tonto blade was. The old Tonto blade was shaky and bad and eh. So this feels already way, way better. Unfortunately, the blade does slap, but I think that's just the nature of having the Tonto blade on this thing. Woo-wee. But FlipForge recommends that you put in the smaller weights. So I'm going to do that really quick. I won't have to, hopefully won't have to cut the recording or anything. Just gonna put in the smaller weights because that's what he recommends that you do for the Tonto blade. So let's just do that really quickly. Oh gosh, this is a nightmare. And in the meantime, I will talk about how the weather has been outside. It's been so nice out lately. Holy cow, I should not be holding this in my hand. It's been so nice out lately. Walking outside and actually feeling hot instead of immediately cold. It's a crazy experience. A crazy experience that I enjoy, mind you. I enjoy it very, very much. Because before you had to wear all these crazy coats and everything, and then you'd walk outside and you'd be freezing while you're going to the bus, and you have to take the bus because there's no way you're doing a half an hour walk in 30-degree weather. Some people are down for that. I'm not, especially not after a 9-hour day on campus. Screw that. But now it's at the point where I can actually walk back and forth. I didn't walk home today, but I walked to school. Didn't walk home because the bus is a 10-minute ride, not even, and the walk is a half an hour, of course, and then the bus is only like 10 minutes. So that was a pretty easy choice because I wanted to open up this package. Anyway, this is fairly neutral now. I mean, it's still got a bit of handle bias, but it flows a lot better. So actually, it's good because if you get the actual edit and you feel that you want the handle bias, but you also want a bit of the neutrality, the Tonto blade's actually going to be really good for you. I actually like what I'm flipping here quite a bit. Do I like it? I think it's got a little bit more of a blade bias. It's a little more blade biased. That doesn't mean it's blade biased. It just means it's more blade biased than the Edit Lite. I think the Edit Lite has a little bit more in its handles. Maybe it doesn't though. I don't know. Yeah, this is a bit more neutral. I like it a little more. And then when you take out the weights entirely, I would assume usually they come with like a plastic spacer. I was sent the Edit before he implemented that, so I don't have that. And tightening the screws down without anything in them can cause the screw to come through the other side as per his words, so I'm not going to do that. But that would probably give you a blade bias. So you go from like you go from like a slight handle bias to fairly neutral to probably a pretty substantial blade bias, which actually is really nice. So overall, I would say good work on the Tonto blade. I would say this is a little blade bias, but I can 0G with it quite easily. So yeah, I would say the Edit Lite, in case you're wondering for a comparison, fits right in the middle of those two profiles. It's more handle biased than this, but it's not as handle biased as with the full weights in. So the Edit Lite still has its place, which is good, but the Tonto blade for the full edit, much, much better. Good work, Flipforge. I actually might keep I don't want to keep it on, but like, it almost makes me want to keep it on because I prefer... Let's just see how the Crescent blade flips. I'm going to go put this specimen of a blade on, and I'll get back to you when that is done. See you in a second. Man, did you guys see Lo-Fi Girl launched a new live stream? That was pretty cool, and it's synthwave too. So any of you like Resonance Home people, that's right up your alley, boys. I know Ty is a huge fan of like synthwave stuff like that. It was a pretty cool thing to do. And then they also like made it like this Fortnite live event. That was crazy, but that was a fun thing to watch. And I love the aesthetics of the stream. It's like blue, and it's got the dude at his computer, and he's like a programmer, and it's really cool. I plan on maybe using that in a couple live streams. Oh wait, you live stream, Ethan? Yes, I do. Link in the description of my main channel. Come hang out. Come talk to me. Might use that as our playlist in the description. Anyway, I was totally not rambling because I was totally not trying to distract you guys from looking at this and paying too much attention to it. Because, you know, we gotta have like the grand reveal and everything. But first of all, let me shout out, these things go together amazingly. Oh, my computer's unplugged. These things go together really, really well. Oh no, spoilers for a Blade Bias video that already came out. Anyway, these go together really, really well. And this little tool, it's so difficult. Like, my hands really scrunch together to be able to use it. But it's amazing as a pivot needle. If you have like another screwdriver, like the Bally driver from Glider, and you use this thing like as a pivot needle, it goes together so flawlessly. It's really nice. Okay, but I re-lubed this thing. I cleaned it up. We're just trying to make it swing a little freer so I can tighten it up just a little more. But I can't distract you guys from it any longer. This thing, as you can already tell, looks incredible, dude. Look at how amazing this looks. I was a bit worried because if you, like, the mint didn't really match the mint of the handles when it was off the blade. But now that it's on there, oh my gosh, dude, that's beautiful. With the carbon fiber down the middle, very smooth. The mint, I mean, it's still a little different, but I assume that's just because mint is a more transparent colorway of his. If you choose, I don't think he makes these available. But if you had like a color that was more strong on its own, I'm sure, because it's not as thick, so the color doesn't come through as much. But anyway, this looks amazing. The black, I really wanted mint and gray, but then he offered me the carbon fiber, and I've always loved carbon fiber stuff, and I was like, I can't resist that. This looks amazing. Oh my gosh, the black and mint is so nice. I'm dubbing this, well, actually, Flipforge dubbed this the mint cookie, which I think is actually a pretty good term for it, even though it's the reverse of what an Oreo really should be. Because, like, if it was, the handles would be black, and then maybe, like, the sides would be mint. Anyway, we're talking about, oh, that would be cool, though. Black on the faces with, like, mint down the middle. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's give this thing a flip. More tip weight. I put the heavier weights back in it since that's where I prefer the crescent blade. Makes it the most neutral, and then as you go down, it's going to make it more blade biased. So let's keep it here. How does this compare? Does this come past the Edit Lite? Let me just flip the Edit Lite really quick. The Edit Lite is really good. And now the Edit is just as good. In fact, does this have a little more handle bias? It can't. He moved more weight up into the tip, which I'm certainly feeling because that like weird shakiness of the Edit, it's still there, but to a lesser degree, which is really nice. But now I'm kind of wondering, maybe I should have kept in those smaller weights. Maybe that would make, because this is still a bit handle biased. It feels, I would say, very similar to the Tonto blade, although the Tonto blade I think is a slight bit more handle biased than this. Could be wrong on that. Maybe this is actually a slight bit more handle biased than the Tonto blade. I don't know. This thing looks amazing when you flip it though, with that edge, the mint edge. It looks so cool. Makes me sort of wish it was I would get probably a gray and pink blade for this thing, but I like the mint and pink. I can't abandon that. This thing looks so cool. One of the most custom edits that you will see out there, because, you know, it's like Brandon's in the dual tone, but then, you know, I had to go and one up him with the carbon fiber. Sorry, Brandon. This is nice. I can feel the extra tip weight. It's very slight, so if you already liked the edit balance, this doesn't change it basically like that much. It just takes out that slight bit of weirdness for me. I mean, it is still present, but I think that's just the weight in the ends, or the weights in the blade, or the weight in the handle, sorry. I think the distribution of the edit light is because there's no weights in the handles, so that little kind of weirdness is always going to be present in the edit. But just in case, since this does feel somewhat handle biased to me, let me throw in these slightly lighter weights and see if it gets any more neutral or blade biased or whatever. That was lucky. This makes me wish someone made a ratcheting. Like, imagine if the glider thing ratcheted on this side, because then you could just go... You wouldn't be able to use it for anything super intense. Like, you wouldn't be able to crank down on it very hard, but that would go pretty hard for things like this. Where you're not exactly trying to crank something down, you're just trying to get some good range of motion. Because I mean, I could just put it in the end. I know everyone's probably screaming at their screens, put it in the other end. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I'm lazy, bro. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna do it. So much easier. I don't know why I'm so resistant to doing things the easier way. It's because life is hard. Okay, let's try this with a bit less handle weight. Oh, okay, wait, there we go. That's edit light right there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, on both of the blades, if you want a little bit of handle bias, put in the biggest weights. And if you want it to be a bit more neutral, it's more similar to the edit light, put in the middleweight blades, because this is much more distributed like the edit light. Now, I know some people like their handle bias, so I think that most people are probably going to prefer the one with the heavier weights in it. But if you're someone like me who likes the edit light, you just want it heavier. I don't think it's exactly like the edit light. It's just the weights in the handles mean that it's not going to be it's not going to feel the same, because the edit light kind of has like the lighter area in the middle, and it's just like, you know, it's definitely different, which is good because you want your product stack to be different, obviously. But this is the most, okay, hello. This is the most edit light like experience that I've gotten on the edit so far, which is really good. So FlipForge, fantastic work changing the balance on this thing and listening to feedback. You've been really, really good with listening to feedback. He's changed so much just based on customer feedback, which is great. We've made amazing advancements since the first one was sent to Ty, because Ty likes the edit light a lot more than he likes his old prototypes of the edit that he had. So that's amazing. FlipForge, I want to extend a huge thank you to you for sending me out the custom blade. This thing looks amazing. It makes me a bit sad that I think the edit light, okay, so where did this push the edit light? The edit light is still my favorite, but I think the edit now sits much closer to it than it used to. Which I kind of, considering how custom this is, I do wish that this was still like my favorite flipper, but it is 99% of the way there. So this is really, really good. FlipForge, thank you for making the custom blade for me. I will cherish this for a long time. And if you guys are interested in going to pick up an edit, go check out FlipForge's website, flipforge.store, I believe. But just go check out his Instagram, at FlipForge on Instagram. You can find out all the details that you want there. But that is the new edit. That is my new custom edit. And that does it for this video. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you all in the next one. Later.